But
Mm.
if he has certain results, how does he know if it can be improved or what we have is all right? So for now,
Right.
there is no software that can tell you that. Uh, there is nothing
Mm.
that actually predicts the future. So for now, we're just using our experience to
Yeah.
see if the data is okay.
Right.
So, uh, so
Yeah,
how do
exactly.
you,
Like
for
looking at
instance, know?
benchmarks, right? Like
Yeah,
what's a
but
typical like click-through rate
mm-hmm.
for LinkedIn in general, and then what's a typical conversion rate for your industry, right? Or in general,
Yeah,
like how,
but it usually comes from your experience. If you already
yeah,
have previous experience in that industry on that platform, you're definitely going to know how to improve your next campaign. Maybe your first won't be as good,
yeah,
but you will know for the next one.
yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of my benchmarks are a hybrid of like what I can Google to see like is there any information, and then my own experience, and then talking to
Mm-hmm.
other fellow marketers, right? And advertising specialists
Mm-hmm.
and like you or other people in my network and being like, "Oh, like what's like a typical conversion rate for you, or like how do your click-through rates look?" And I remember doing that a lot at the beginning because I was like, I have no idea because these costs seem very
Mm-hmm.
high. These acquisition costs are not playing on LinkedIn at 150 or however much it was, and I was like, oh man. But in hindsight, that was totally normal because if you thought about their sales cycle and the price of their software, which at the time everything was custom, so it was like 20K, 10K on a minimum, that makes perfect sense, right? So that wasn't actually like a
Mm-hmm.
high cost per lead for them. But yeah, you know, you're right. I think a lot of it is like through your experience. And also, once again, like it's critical thinking. I don't know. I saw a TikTok about critical thinking and now I can't stop using the word. But it's true because it's like if you think about how much are they spending to acquire a client outside of ads, advertising? I mean, a lot of clients probably don't know that information, but let's say they do, then you can kind of compare and be like, okay, the price for this channel is X amount versus if we're just doing grassroots, how much is that? I mean, you have to factor in the cost of people, the time that it takes, all of that. And so if you can do a comparison of that, you can also determine like are we hitting the mark or way off. And then also like on the back
If-
end, it depends what kind of LinkedIn campaign you're running. But if you're doing lead generation versus a conversion campaign, those are two different things, right? So,
That's why you need to be a marketer to understand the difference, to understand
yeah,
how to set up these campaigns. And
right.
probably, if you have the budget, you will recommend to warm up the audience with different
Mm-hmm.
awareness campaigns and so on.
Right.
So that's something that ChatGPT can do for you. You need to do it yourself.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't tried Chat GPT for LinkedIn. I should probably do a prompt for that for a LinkedIn ad campaign.
I
I'm
tr-
curious.
I tried just for fun, for ads, and for content creation. It's actually interesting because it provides you with different ideas. And what I especially liked about it that you can tell it to make the post in your personal like language, like just use whatever, give it an example of how you write a post, and then it can
Hmm.
create based on your style. And
Right.
let it know to add some jokes, like what kind of language do you want to be, formal, or maybe like not serious at all. So that's interesting that it knows the difference.
Right. That is really cool. So detail oriented. I love it.
Yeah. And it creates like content in a matter of minutes, which is amazing. It saves you time.
Yeah, like you can write blogs. I'm like, I can start blogging.
In 2000 and 23, blogging is possible.